was born lactose intolerant, so I never had diaries in my life.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So I'm probably more vegan than a vegan that decide
really?
to go vegan when you are in your 20s. So, you know.
Would you say that you believed in karma?
Karma, yeah, I would say I do believe in karma. Yeah, I think whatever's done to you, maybe it won't come back just straight as in now, but probably a few years time. I think that
Over time, like every action has like a reaction.
Yeah,
type of thing.
definitely.
Yeah.
Every action does have a reaction.
Yeah. Do you think that people like who cause unnecessary suffering to someone would almost deserve something bad to happen to them, or would like be asking for it in a way?
Yeah, they would be asking for a way.
Yeah.
I do think so, because me personally, I think that, as we said, every reaction has a reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, if someone did something bad to me, I would expect the same to happen to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like a simple case, like we should show like empathy, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Do you think there's enough empathy in the world?
no, I don't think so.
Like empathy towards other humans?
No, I don't think so. I don't think people show enough empathy towards humans. That's why they do what they're doing, and they don't think it will come back, but it does come back in the end. Yeah.
Do you think we show like enough empathy to animals as well, or?
Oh, yes, most definitely. You know, animals, even though they're not human, but they do deserve to be treated with love and you know, respect and stuff like that. So I don't think we should.
You don't think we should cause like unnecessary suffering to animals?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that applies to like animals that we eat as well, or?
Yeah, well, it does. You know, because at the end of the day, we're consuming them. It's not like, you know. Yeah.
It's really complex, isn't it? Do you think there is like a humane way to kill an animal?
A human way to
A humane way, like a nice way.
I don't think killing is right.
It's complex.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
complex. It's really complex, because I don't think any animal deserves to die, you know.
There's so many ways that we use animals in our day-to-day life. We kind of almost take them for granted.
Yeah, no,
Do you think that maybe you take animals for granted in your like day-to-day life?
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Naturally, I think it's only like inherent too.
Yeah.
Without meaning to, almost, it's like that's not even an ignorance. I think to a degree. I think that's just we don't even realize sometimes the products that we utilize, perhaps.
Yeah.
You're right. How animals have been utilized, to make them or something like that. So.
And also because it happens so like hush hush behind closed doors.
Yeah.
That there are so many products that people use and they have no idea where they've come from.
Oh, no,
and it's
for
just
sure.
a natural process of them hiding it from us, hiding maybe the truth from us and stuff like that.
It's like a censorship, obviously, because otherwise, the company obviously will get it's a negative name for them. So
you think they censor a lot of the truth because it is negative?
I don't know if they maybe they purposely censor it for the basics that their company, ethically will look better and just kind of, morally will feel a bit more like, oh, it's okay. But I don't think I'm not too sure, honestly. I can't say like indefinitely that they do it or that they don't do it because...
Absolutely. I'll just ask you one final question then. If you had a choice to live a life where you killed humans, killed animals, or killed neither, which one would you choose?
What's the third option?
Killed neither. Didn't kill animals or humans.
Would you kill an animal or a human?
Or kill neither. So it's either animals, humans, or neither of them. You have the choice to not do that.
No, neither.
Yeah.
No, come on, yeah.
Do you think that because morally then you're saying that you would not like to partake in animal cruelty, but sometimes your actions suggest otherwise? Would you like to line your actions with your morals?
Well, it's just a matter of if I'll have to survive at some point. Let's talk about extreme circumstances.
Yeah, okay.
I'll definitely kill to survive, but that's because it's the human nature.
Would you think you'll find yourself in an extreme circumstance?
Yeah,
But would you think you will in your life? Do you think there'll be a point in your life where you're in an extreme circumstance?
I don't know. You never know.
Are you in an extreme circumstance now?
No, not at the moment. Now I can make choices. So I think everything comes with choices. If people have options, they will make informed decision. It's when you restrict people options in terms of money, in terms of culture, in terms of education, then people will have little choices, and of course they will make the choices that are less costly and more profitable for them in terms of survival.
That's so true. Yeah. Do you eat meat yourself, or
Pardon?
do you eat meat yourself?
Well, I've stopped eating meat for quite a while actually.
That's great.
Yeah,
And that was an ethical choice.
Yeah, it's a choice because I've seen obviously what happens to animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm aware and stuff like that. So
Do you think that more people need to be aware of what goes on?
yes, most definitely. I think people should like make a documentary on stuff like that, or see how animals, are killed and how people eat them and stuff like that. I think,
Because like I think most people in society are against animal cruelty.
Yeah.
But then like when it comes to animals that we eat, all of a sudden that doesn't apply anymore.
I think when it comes to like chicken and stuff like that, people don't think as much as they think as another animal, So
So will you classify yourself as like a vegetarian or?
A vegan. I mean, I do prefer veg over meat.
Yeah. So like, do you ever eat any animal products?
Well, I do eat fish. Fish. Yeah, but I don't eat chicken.
Yeah. And like beef and pork and stuff,
and stuff like that. No.
So it's just like really fish that you eat?
Yeah.
And what was it about fish that kind of like makes you continue to eat it?
What is about fish? I don't think they kill fish as in the way they kill like a chicken or something like that.
It's like a different style of death because of the habitat that they come from.
It's like that.
It's like when they pull fish out of the ocean, I guess it's like they're suffocated to death, aren't they?
Because they can't breathe. So that's why I think that's how they probably kill it instead of like getting a knife and.
Do you think like a suffocation's a nicer way to die than being like have your throat slit?
Yeah, I do think because if you have your throat slit, it's just like you're dying, but you're just witnessing yourself dying.
I guess both are horrible, aren't they?
Yeah,
I guess it's like a difficult choice if you had to choose between either, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Do you think that animals are here in like a capacity to serve us?
Yeah.
You think they are? Like in what way would they be here to serve us?
Just from like religion.
Religion. Yeah.
It's kind of like, for me anyway, it's kind of like they are here to be consumed kind of thing. It's not, I know that sounds really like horrible and whatever, but
no, not at all, no.
But I don't want people to like hate me, but
no one's going to hate you because the thing is, this is such a common idea in society. This is like the ingrained philosophy into that we think that it's acceptable, not just in religion, but for people who are atheists as well.
Yeah.
But like when I think about religion, God created this planet for us.
Yeah.
Do you know about the environmental consequences of eating meat?
Slightly, but not really. Like I'm not as
Because do you think, like, considering, I'll just give you like some facts, like we're going to have fishless oceans by 2048 at the rate we're fishing. We're in the biggest mass species extinction of the past 65 million years because of animal agriculture, because 91% of the Amazon rainforest has been destroyed for animal agriculture. So do you think that like spirituality or religion or a God would be happy that we'd be destroying the planet that he created for us just so we can consume the animals that he also created for us?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think there's also kind of an overconsumption, as you said just now. You kind of mentioned that.
Yeah.
And then also because of that whole overconsumption, we end up turning to other means, and it's just kind of destroying not only natural habitats, obviously all that kind of stuff. So I think there is a fine line.
Yeah.
There, okay, I believe in consumption, they're here for consumption, etc. But I also believe that we have an overconsumption kind of problem going on, and we also have this kind of arrogance that we can just kind of take what we want, and it is to an excessive degree. And you can feel that even now with all the food stuff going on right now. I'm sure you've seen
Absolutely.
It's just continual. So I do think there needs to be a fine kind of line, but
Where would that line go, do you think?
Gosh, I think it's very subjective.
It is, isn't it? It's incredibly
very subjective.
Yeah.
Because some people argue that, for my own health, I need to consume more. I need for people who, let's say, work out more.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people started working out more, so naturally
they think they
protein.
need to up animal intake. So okay, would you ever consider going vegetarian or going vegan?
No.
Any particular reason?
Well, I was born lactose intolerant, so I never had diaries in my life.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So I'm probably more vegan than a vegan that decide to go vegan when you are in your 20s.
All right. Okay.
But no, because I do like cheese, like goat cheese, but I'm trying to consume what I think it's as a reasonable amount for me. I don't overeat or I don't overconsume.
Sure.
and I don't necessarily go and look for that specific product. If it's available, it's okay. If it's not,
If so, you were saying about if there was a substitute that was like tasted the same but didn't come from animals, would you choose that if it was like the same price?
no, I'd rather go for the original one.
You'd rather go for the original
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that product has been made for me to mimic the taste of something that I could have in nature, and it's still a corporation doing that. So I'm still buying something and giving them some profit.
even though it might be more ethical for.
But who told you that it's more ethical?
I guess that's like a.
Because you still have to source the raw material for it. And where do you source the raw material?
But if it doesn't come from like a living being.
Take soya market, for example.
Yeah,
the soya market is highly unsustainable because soya has been planted in South America where it was not a local crop.
Yeah. Do you know how much soy is fed to animals?
Yeah, exactly. Soya, and it's
85% of it.
OGM, most of the soya that's
So,
fed to animals.
And you're right, soy is a massive problem, and because 85% of the soy we grow is fed to animal livestock, like the consumption of animals is in fact causing the problems with soy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure Argentinian people or Latin American countries, they will rather grow something else than soya if they could.
Yeah.
So again, it's a matter of sovereignty as well.
I guess what you're saying is you'd like to reduce the amount of like factory farmed industrial scale.
Yeah, definitely, because there's land grabbing as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
You're very
that was really
welcome.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Well, good luck on your project.
Yeah, and you had some really interesting answers as well that I've not heard before. Do you think that like fish feel pain the same way that animals do, or humans do?
Yeah, I do think they feel pain. You know, I mean, as long as it has life, obviously, you know,
It has the ability to probably feel pain.
yeah, feel pain. You know.
Yeah, and like the fact that it has life probably means it has a preference to not be killed, I suppose, or feel the pain.
Yeah.
Because what you were saying earlier was really great about how like you think that no animals should be treated with cruelty.
Yeah.
Did you think that applies to fish as well?
Yeah, because it's an animal as well, fish. You know, and I don't think it should really. I don't think it should be like treated like that. But you know,
Would you ever consider giving up fish then, like, or maybe just going vegan, giving up the cheese, the eggs, or whatever of animal products you consume?
at the end of the day, they are healthy. But if it comes to terms as me having to give them up, then you know, if it's to save another fish from dying, then probably I will do it. Yeah.
If I was told that fish wasn't healthy at all and it was actually really unhealthy, would that help you feel more confident?
Yeah, definitely.
Because fish is actually really unhealthy. Like a lot of the science about it helping your heart is being
helping your heart. That's right.
It's not true. It's like it's been proven to be wrong.
Because I look into stuff before I actually, you know.
That's great.
Yeah.
So many people don't take that initiative.
Yeah, they don't take the time to actually look at the stuff, and
you have done that.
Yeah.
So if you have that education, what else would stop you from going vegan?
What else would stop me from going vegan?
Yeah. Because it seems like even though you eat fish, there's a part of you that would be happy to give it up. Perhaps would that be fair to say?
Yeah. There's a part of me that would be happy. Like as I said before, you know, if it means that saving another fish's life, then
and you can have that. You can do that. Can't you?
I can do that.
Like, the way that we're fishing now means we'll have fishless oceans by 2048.
Yeah.
Have you heard that before?
No, I haven't.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like 2048 we can have fishless oceans because of how unsustainable what we do in the oceans is.
Wow, that's something I've learned just today. Now.
Yeah. Wow. Will that maybe like persuade you a bit more?
Yeah, definitely.
It seems to me like you have a lot of empathy and a lot of like you've got an open mind, which is really refreshing in this world. I tell you. It's really nice talking to you about that.
I think people need open minds instead of just closing their mind. You know? I just think it make life much better if people were open-minded.
If I asked you tonight to make that step to go vegan, would you do it?
Yeah, definitely I would, yeah.
If I gave you some information about it, like gave you some flyers or some like resources, some internet links, some documentaries, would you watch them?
Yeah, I will, because I like to do my research and I like digging into stuff, you know.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I've got a YouTube channel which I can give you.
I'll be happy.
And because it's great. Thank you so much. If you had the choice, you could live a life where you killed humans, killed animals, or killed neither, which one would you choose?
What was the last one? Evil?
Killed neither.
Animals or humans or none? God. I'm gonna have to give up meat now, aren't I?
Which one would it be?
I know I'm taking a long time, but...
Take as long as you need, that's fine.
Not human. I'd probably say neither.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kill neither because... So basically, morally, you're saying that you'd rather live life where you kill either, but your actions suggest that
completely
you don't
different.
Do that.
I know, it's like hypocritical right now.
Would you like to align your morals and your actions?
I would. But there's like a fear. I think there's just like, because I don't know, kind of. I think there's a lack of education on the other side too. Like there's no, we're not taught like how to kind of make healthy vegetarian meals that are like wholly, like I always think, oh, if I go vegetarian or I go vegan, I'll have to get like mad tablets and like, you know, like calcium and all this kind of stuff. And
so it's like an education thing that may hold you back.
Ever so slightly, yeah. Like I don't eat as much meat like perhaps as most other people.
That's great.
But I don't kind of limit myself from, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Yeah.
So like for me, like I do have like food guidelines for myself as well, like, you know, in the basics, just because there's like certain things I don't eat as well, and that's not been hard for me. But I think I know how to kind of adapt myself for that, and that's probably why. But I think with the vegetarian and vegan thing, it's kind of, that feels like an extreme, and I don't know how to like 100% kind of, you know, meal plan, all those little things, or where to shop, because sometimes it's just so expensive, and they like.
What'd be expensive? Like what? If I said like cheapest foods in the world, like rice, pastas, potatoes.
Like grains, I understand, but you also need like, you know, like just. I always think of like more vegetables and stuff would be like, that would have to be incorporated in my diet more, like you said, beans and stuff.
Yeah.
But
is that less expensive than meat or more expensive than meat?
I don't know, because you can kind of like, you can freeze meats. You can't
bulk buy vegetables, or you can buy frozen vegetables and frozen fruits.
You can buy frozen vegetables, but like, you know, it's, I don't know. It just feels not as nutritious almost.
Okay, because it's frozen.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So if I was to give you like some documentaries you could possibly watch, or like some leaflets, would you take those and be interested to see them? Or
I would. I'm kind of like that. I like to learn new things,
amazing.
But I would, yeah. Once I know, I'm probably more likely to explore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll give you that stuff. Okay, so one last question. Like, when I asked you about this sort of thing, how does it make you feel?
Obviously, like, kind of provoked my thoughts, kind of like.
Has it something you've thought about before?
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. Like, it's not like it's not around me, obviously, and you know, like I said, like friends as well, like obviously would say, but it's not something I ever thought of exploring. Like, honestly speaking, I don't think many people do.
When you eat meat or eat like animal products, do you ever consider where it's come from? Like when it's on your plate, do you think that belonged to a cow that like felt pain and suffered? And
I only eat like a certain type of meat, and like by the guidelines of that meat, you have to ethically kind of.
Okay.
It has to be ethically kind of kept and everything. So. For that reason, no. But probably should, because even if it has the stamp, it doesn't mean like...
That's good that you acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Do you think next time you eat something you will think about it?
Yeah, possibly. I will probably go and ask. Yeah. Just out of curiosity as well, maybe.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much.